We're here live at I Am Builders headquarters in Miami, and I wanted to take a few minutes and I wanted to share with you how I Am Builders started, my background, how the reason we do what we're doing, because I think it's good for our clients and potential clients to know more about me, more about our team, more about how we started, more about how we're helping contractors change their business. So my background, I've actually had the opportunity to work in different parts of the construction industry. So my formal training, I have my bachelor in architecture, but I decided to get into the construction field because when I remember when I was working at interior design firm as an architect, I remember one of my jobs was going to the job site to make sure that the projects were being built according to plans, because we were representing the owner. So I remember I got interested in that, and so I said, hey, you know what, I want to start getting into construction. I want to, instead of being more on the design side, I want to get into the construction side of things. And I remember my father-in-law, before he was my father-in-law, before I had gotten married, he was a painter, and he was doing really good. He had just retired. He got this job, this project, and he had to turn it down because he was retired. So one day he tells me, hey, look, I had this job. I wish I would have given it to you. I would have told you to do it. And I go, what do you mean? We could have made $20,000. I would have done that. I would have subcontracted that work. I would have done something. And that kind of got me excited on the idea of going in the construction side, because I said, if this guy is able to do painting and make $80,000 a year, I can definitely make that thing even better. And after that, I got into construction. I became a superintendent, project manager, senior project manager. So I kind of worked my way into it, and it was a really good thing for us because that set the foundation for our business. I see Gabriel, my sales manager, is actually watching right now. So when I started, let me tell you about. One of the reasons I started the business, believe it or not, was I really just wanted to. When I got into construction, my goal was to get my general contractor's license. I wanted to become a GC, and that's when I started working at Camcon Group. I went to go work for Rulan International. I went to go work for Coroni Interiors, Framing and Drywall Company. So the goal was I want to learn how to grow my own business. I wanted to obviously be successful there, make more money, the whole thing. There's this thing that one of the reasons that, when I went back and thought about it, one of the reasons that I really wanted to have my business was because I wanted to get. So I did I went to school, I got a job, everything was, I did everything right, but you end up getting in that day-to-day, check-to-check struggle, right? And everybody wants to have their own business because they want to get out of that daily grind. So that's one of the main reasons I started the business. When I was young, my first business I started, I was in my fraternity in college, and I started a paddle business. And around that time is when I started, I was working at this multi-level marketing company, and they got me going with having my own business, and they showed me all the great things that you don't need to live check to check. You don't need to be working 9 to 5, hustling, making other people money. You can do it for yourself. And I said, you know what? That's what I want. That's the real thing I want. And around that time, I was working at Coroni, and the way I was working as a senior project manager, and it was the time that I was about to get married. I wanted to get married and I didn't have the cash to do it. So I go to my boss and I said, hey, Paulo, can I make some commission on some jobs? I had just sold a $350,000 drywall job. It was a big job for us. And he told me, you know what, I would love to, but the thing is that I can't, because then I have to give everybody else commission. And that's kind of like, I was kind of down about that, and I had to figure out another way to make some more money. So I decided that I wanted to try doing some takeoffs part-time just to pay for my wedding. And so I put up a little website, I put up some ads online, and I couldn't believe the results. There was this like massive industry of construction professionals that just didn't have the time to estimate these jobs. So they were calling me, like begging me, please help me out, do estimating for me. Can you please, we have bid dates, we're overwhelmed with work, we don't have time. And in 1 week, I tripled my salary. I couldn't believe it. And I said, you know what? I love what I'm doing. I love being a project manager, senior project manager. I love doing all this. But you know what? There's such a good opportunity that I have to go in that route. And that's when I discovered that estimating, not only is it going to be a good business opportunity, but that's when I was able to help a lot of people. So a lot of these contractors, even to this day, they come to us stressed. And I didn't realize this, but this is just like an epidemic. I mean, we're used to talking about pandemics already, but there's this pandemic in the construction industry that there's just, our enemy is time. We don't have time to meet bid dates. We don't have time to estimate jobs. Contractors just don't have time. And I used to hear that on the job site all the time. I don't have time. I don't have time. So fast forward, I have my notes here because I really wanted to remember everything right. So one of the good thing about us is that we're not just growing a business, but we're able to change people's lives. Because a lot of our contractors come to us and they're working nights and weekends. They don't have time. They're sacrificing their family time. They're busy. On the kitchen table, they have their printed plans, doing it the old school way. They have their printed plans, estimating jobs, and that's not a way to live life. Running a business like that, where you're working 60, 80 hours a week and barely breaking even, it's not. And you know what? That's what we're facing with. We're dealing with a time that contractors are barely breaking even. They're barely, they're putting in the hours, but they're barely breaking even. So I know that what we're doing is changing people's lives. It's really helping them grow their business, free up their time so they can focus on other things like their families, like meeting new clients and things like that. So fast forward, we've been able to really, like I just said, we've been able to really help a bunch of people. And when we got into when we really started ramping up, in the beginning we were just doing takeoffs. But then in order to better serve our customers, I said, you know what? This is only giving them a little piece of it. Let's give them the pricing. So I invested in a cost database. We tweaked it. We played with the numbers. We verified some of the numbers just to make sure the numbers were accurate. Then we hired a developer to build us an estimating program so that we can be more accurate and more faster with our bids, so we can be get a better delivery time frame, so we can jobs that can take weeks and weeks, we can do it a couple of days sometimes with this new platform that we're using. And now what we want to do is we're actually building out all of our training, because what I found over the years is that I'm always getting asked, how do I do a proposal? How do I fill out a bid form? How do I finance my jobs? I want to do a job, but I don't have the cash flow for it. So these are all trainings that we're going to be building out. We're actually building out a masterclass right now that we're going to be launching soon, hopefully to help contractors really do the business side, because they teach you how to be a carpenter. They teach you how to hang drywall. You learn in the trades, but you don't know how. You actually don't know how to run the business of it, the business side of things, and that's something they don't teach you in construction management school. They don't teach you in. They don't teach you that in. They don't even teach you that when you're growing up in the trades. You're just a worker, and you do the work, and you go with what's on the plans. So we're really helping contractors really just professionalize their business. I remember when I met my old boss, Paulo Stucchi, Coroni. He was a framer, very super sharp guy, but he was used to the old way, printing the plans, doing things the old school way. And the first thing I did was when I started working there as a senior project manager, we implemented all these policies, all these we redid the estimating department, we redid the project management department, we hired professional foremen, we redid everything. And that company they were doing about $2 million a year, doing just labor for other companies. then they didn't really have their own projects. But when I came in, we started ramping up. They had a couple little $20,000, $30,000 drywall jobs. We ramped up so that we were starting to do $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 jobs. I just heard a couple months ago he just did a $750,000 job, and fast forward a few years, now they're doing $7 million a year. And it's amazing. It's an amazing thing, because I know, even though I don't work there anymore, I'm still friends with him, and I know that the things that the ideas and the things that we implemented, and I was part of that. And I know that we're doing that every single day for contractors. Now, one of the conflicts, a couple conflicts that we had along the way growing our company was, in the beginning, I was working 7 days a week. It was overwhelming. We had contractors busy with the deadlines, and you know how it is. They give you something on a Monday, they want it on a Wednesday. So it was just me alone. I was working from my apartment building, and I remember I was walking in my apartment building complex, like outside we had this really nice pool, and I was just so stressed that I was about to throw in the towel. I said, man, you know what? I'm gonna go back to work. I don't wanna do this anymore. I was so stressed, and I said, you know what? Instead of giving up, I'm gonna lean in. I'm gonna work a little harder. I'm gonna figure this out. I'm not gonna throw in the towel. So I figured out a way to get an answering service so they can help me with the calls. Get a couple more estimators, freelancers, remote workers to help me, because I couldn't keep up. I teamed up with a couple civil engineers that were able to help us with the takeoffs and help me with the takeoffs, because it was just me by myself. Fast forward a few years. Actually, before fast forwarding, so along the way, that allowed me to, we were doing that for a while, and then eventually I was able to get my own estimators, my own estimating team. Now we have, Diego is my senior estimator, 20 years in construction, concrete guy, drywall guy, framing and drywall guy. He is amazing. He reviews these things better than even I can. He's so detailed. We got Alvaro, former architect. We got Marcio, former concrete guy. And we have a bunch more. We have Boris, Bosco, Milenko. We have a bunch of estimators that are amazing at what they do, and I'm so privileged to work with them, because we're changing contractors. I want to say we're changing contractors' lives, because they're just so busy that we're able to give them accurate numbers quickly, and we're just a resource that isn't, frankly, there aren't very good estimating firms out there. I know, because a lot of times clients come to us saying, oh, I did this with this other company, I need help. I was talking to one of my clients this morning that they spent $700 on an estimate, and they came to us, and even though we were even more expensive than that, they were like, oh, you know, it's worth it, because you know what, I'm about to get this job and I want to make sure my numbers are accurate. And that's the key, accuracy. So fast forward, we've been able to we had the privilege to work with over 1,100 contractors nationwide. Last couple years, 2 or 3 years ago, we did the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem. We worked on a couple of embassy projects. We've done high rises, renovation jobs, little additions. We've been able to help contractors make money, grow their businesses, free up their time. And originally my goal was a little part-time money to pay the wedding. And I never imagined in a million years that this would be such an important thing to a lot of people, to a lot of contractors, a lot of busy people that just really need this. And now that we've kind of streamlined the estimating, now our next mission is to help build all these training platforms to help contractors really see. Estimating is only a small part of the puzzle. So estimating is only, how are you going to get the leads? How are you going to finance the jobs? How are you going to close the jobs? How are you going to estimate them? So estimating is just a little piece of it. I'd say it's 25% of the whole picture. So what we're building out is all this training, and like our next mission is, it's not enough to just provide that. We want to make sure that we, the experience along the way has led us to really understand what we're doing. That we're changing people, we're changing contractors' lives. I just wrote our blueprint, which is called the Xplode strategy, and that's full of it's basically an extremely detailed how-to guide on how to grow a construction business. We have a bunch of resources on the internet, on our website, articles that we've written, but this is by far a really good resource that every contractor should have. and we're building on our masterclass because we want to help our clients really in all the parts. I mean, I hear it every single day. How do I do a proposal? Should I send your estimate just like this, you know, with all my secret numbers, like you know, all of my profit margins, everything? Should I send that? And I'm always giving all this advice over the phone, and I say, man, you know what if I package up all this advice and I really help some people? And that's what we're doing, and that's really what this is all about. It's not just about money and growing a business, it's about helping people. And so in the end, that's our story. That's my story. That's the I Am Builder story. And we're writing it every day. And we really hope that you guys will be a part of it. And we're here at I Am Builders headquarters. Check us out, iambuilders.com. And I hope to hear from you soon. www.iambuilders.com. Thanks.